What's going on, peeps? I know a lot of y'all might have seen this video, seen that title, and it's like, what is this crazy dude talking about? He talking about immigrants killing Americans and DUIs. What do they have to do with each other? Well, it has a lot to do with each other, in a sense. For instance, if I told y'all 29 deaths was the result of undocumented immigrants in 2024, would you believe me? Then if I told you over 13,000 deaths was the result of DUIs last year, would you believe me? Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because we get so sidetracked and we get so sidetracked to the fact that we tend to lose focus of real issues in this country. Yes, all deaths are sad. All deaths are tragic. All deaths are wrong. No matter if you lose your life due to a undocumented immigrant being in this country or due to a DUI. Both are the same in my book. But this is the problem. We tend to focus on things that are social issues, like undocumented immigrants, instead of trying to solve the real issues in this country, like DUIs, drunk drivers, which are taking more lives than any undocumented immigrant could take. So why are we focused on undocumented immigrants taking lives when we're not focused on DUIs? Think about the family who lost a loved one due to a drunk driver. Do you think that they're less, they feel less about their loss of their loved ones than someone who lost their life due to an undocumented immigrant? Both of them are preventable in a sense. Just understand what I'm saying. Both of them are preventable in a sense. Like we'll say, if that undocumented immigrant wasn't in the country, the person's life that he took or she took could have been prevented, right? So what if we kept that person from driving a car and killing someone? Isn't that preventable also? I'm just trying to get people to understand that we need to stop letting politicians drive our outrage. We should be outraged by everything when it comes to death. American killings Americans, undocumented immigrants killing Americans. We should be outraged by all of it. But are we? No, we're not. And you know the reason why we're not? Because we let politicians drive the narrative. That's why. How many of y'all knew that over 13,000 people died at the hand of a drunk driver in 2024? But I guarantee you, a lot of you can say, oh, I know that this undocumented immigrant killed so-and-so last year. Why is that? Why? All lives are precious. No matter how they lose their lives, it's precious. We have so many kids, so many babies who die every year due to gun violence. But do you hear politicians talking about that? No. Just think about this for a second. You have politicians talking about a young lady who lost their life in Georgia last year. They went and made a bill, named a bill after her. How many bills have you seen pushed to save kids who have died in schools? How many bills? How many? Sandy Hook, Parkland, You can name school after school after school where babies have lost their lives. But do you see anyone pushing a bill to save their lives? See, this is how phony the American politicians are. We push what we want to push. We'll push a bill because of undocumented immigrants, but we won't push a bill to save our kids' lives, our children's lives. We won't do gun reform to save our children's lives. We have changed a lot of our DUI laws because of the deaths, but we have not done enough when it comes to DUIs in this country. But we will change our laws for undocumented immigrant who took a life. What's more important? Just understand, what's more important? Seriously, what is more important? If I lose my child's life due to a DUI, is that less important than someone who lost their life to an undocumented immigrant being in this country? What's more important? What's more important? We have school shooters in this country on a regular basis. I don't see no one trying to change the gun laws in this country. No one. But let someone die at the hands of undocumented immigrants in this country. They'll change almost every law in this book, in the books, because of that undocumented immigrant. Knowing that kids are dying every day due to gun violence in this country, and we still don't change the laws. Do that make sense? Am I making sense? I'm hurting right now. Every American should feel the way I feel. Every life is important. Every life is precious. But do we care about every life? No, we don't. We care more about abortion laws in this country than we do about people who are actually living and breathing in this country. Unless it's an undocumented immigrant who took that life. And that life is all over the news. Politicians are talking about it every freaking day. We can lose 20 kids in a school, and in a month, we're done with it. We can lose one person to an undocumented immigrant, and we talked about it for years. What's more important? What's more important? Every life is precious. Every life is precious. It's precious. Oh, I'm sorry. It's precious. It's sad the way we treat American lives, because we don't care about all American lives. We only care about the American lives that make political news. We don't care about 20 kids dying in the school. We don't care about 13 kids dying in the school. We don't care about 50 kids dying in the school. But we care about that one undocumented immigrant who kills an American. We care about that one life more than 50 lives. That's crazy. That is really, really crazy. We as Americans should be ashamed of ourselves. We really should be ashamed of ourselves. When we allow hundreds of kids to die in school shootings and nothing is done about it. But one undocumented immigrant kills someone and we change laws just like that. Just like that, we change laws. Just that shows you we don't care about kids. We don't care about people dying in accidents. We don't care. Everything is political. Everything is political. Your child dies in the school and a politician don't care. Just understand that. That shows you they're fake. That shows you they don't care. They don't care. Let's understand that. It's sad. It's really, really sad that we sit here. Well, Kanye, like I said, man, I'm gonna cry for 4 years, man. I'm gonna call out everything I can call out for the next 4 years in the hypocrisy of all of this nonsense. Because all this is just nothing but hypocrisy. It's nothing but hypocrisy. Nothing but hypocrisy. And trust me, I feel sorry for every family who loses a loved one. No matter who did it, I feel sorry for them. But the problem is politicians don't care. They don't care. They don't care, man. They don't care. Babies are dying every day in this country due to gun violence. They don't care about that. People are getting in cars, drinking and driving, killing people on a daily basis. They don't care. But let an undocumented immigrant commit a crime in this country, it's all over the front page. 29 murders last year in 2024 was committed by undocumented immigrants. Over 13,000 people died from drunk drivers in this country, and not a peep. Not a peep. But one death from undocumented immigrants, and the only thing you heard about for the whole year was that one death. What's that one death? Crazy. Sad, but crazy. When are we going to wake up? When are we going to wake up and understand that we're nothing but pawns in this world, in this country? We're all being used. All of us are being used. No matter if you're on the right, no matter if you're on the left, we're all being used. And we're being used so they can stay in power and make money. They don't really care about you. They don't care about me. And they're just the truth and the facts of the matter. It is what it is. And until the American people wake up and understand that we're being used as pawns, this will continue day in and day out. Now, I was looking at news this morning in Georgia, once again in Georgia, an undocumented immigrant killed the lady. Now, for the next year or so, that's all we're going to hear about. How Joe Biden allowed an undocumented immigrant into this country, and that person took a life. But I guarantee you, if there's a school shooting, you'll hear about it for a couple of weeks, and it'll go away. And we still will be talking about the undocumented immigrant taking a life. Just let that sink in for a second. If 13 kids are killed in the school, which I hope it don't happen, we'll talk about it for 1 or 2 weeks. Then it goes away. But one undocumented immigrant takes a life, and we'll talk about it from now to eternity. Because it's a social woke issue. Culture. Crazy. It's crazy. But we are to blame. Because we don't hold these politicians accountable the way we should. We don't. We keep electing the same people over and over again. No matter if they're on the right or no matter if they're on the left. We keep electing the same people over and over again. And they're not doing us any good. Right now, we have a Congress who, for to be a check on the executive branch of our government, and they're failing us. Failing us big time. They're not doing their job. What are we going to do about it? Nothing. And they know we're not going to do anything about it. And that's why they keep doing what they do. That's why they keep ignoring kids dying in schools. That's why they keep ignoring drunk drivers killing American citizens on a daily basis. Because we're not going to do anything about it. We're not going to push them to make laws to protect us. Unless it's an undocumented immigrant. Which is crazy. Just understand that. We live in a crazy country right now. How many of y'all thought about how we're allowing people to be locked up without due process? How many of y'all thought about that? The government telling you that we are locking up bad guys. Better yet, we're not locking up bad guys. We're sending bad guys to a third world country to be in prison. And we're paying that third world country $6 million to lock up people who have not committed a crime in the U.S. But we're paying $6 million to lock them up in a third world country. How many of y'all actually thought about that? How many of y'all thought about that being against our Constitution? The right to due process. But we don't think about that. You know why we don't think about that? Because there are so-called undocumented immigrants. So we don't care about them. We don't care about locking up people who hasn't committed a crime. What if that was you? See, anything that has to do with undocumented immigrants, we don't care. We don't care. Which is sad. Which is very sad. Because once they start taking away the rights of those people, they're coming for your rights next. Because they see how easy it is to manipulate people. You know, I sat back this morning, I watched these news shows, and I was watching people keep talking about how these people are murderers and they are gang violent gang member, they're terrorists and all this and all that. But they don't show you no proof of none of this information. So what if they did it to you? What if they said you was a horrible person? It didn't have to show proof. Would you feel the same way? What if that was your brother, your father, your grandfather, your cousin, your uncle? What if that was you? They were sent into a third world country and paying them to lock you up when you haven't committed a crime and you didn't get due process. How would you feel? What would you think? See, sometimes we must have empathy for people. We must put ourselves in those people's position in order to understand how wrong it is. We don't think because it's not us at the time, which is crazy. America is turning into one of the most horrible places to be. And the reason why, because we're allowing these politicians to forget about the Constitution. See, the Constitution is what makes this country great. But once you start forgetting about the Constitution, you start turning this country into a third world country, which is crazy. No, we talk about the First Amendment, which is free speech. We talk about the Second Amendment, which allow you to own a gun and protect your home. Well, how about due process? How about the part of the Constitution that allows you to go in front of a judge and express and explain your case, argue your case rather? What happened to that part of the Constitution? We just forget about that part. See, we tend to lash onto the part of the Constitution that's in favor of us at that time. Okay, everybody running around talking about the Second Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Second Amendment, because everybody will own a gun. Everybody want to own a gun, no matter what kind of gun it is. They want to own a gun. So they latch onto the Second Amendment. Or they'll latch onto the First Amendment where you can say anything you want to say. You can be a racist. You can be some Christian zealous. You can do anything you want to do with the First Amendment or the Second Amendment, because those are the things that you really feel strong about when it comes to the Constitution. Well, the Constitution is more than just the First Amendment and the Second Amendment. Much more than that. And we need to understand that. But, like I said, when are we going to wake up and stop letting these politicians use us as pawns? When? Not one Republican politician spoke up for those flights that left this country and went to El Salvador. Well, people who was denied, let me say this, who was denied their due process in this country. And we're talking about waste and fraud. We just paid $6 million to lock up people who didn't commit a crime in the U.S. Y'all don't call that waste? That's waste. You're paying a country $6 million to lock up people who didn't commit a crime in this country. That's waste. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, you're right, G. The Second Amendment is bull. And the reason why it's bull, because They change the Second Amendment laws to suit their needs when they want to. If they really believed in the Second Amendment, no one would lose their right to own a gun. If they really believed in the infringement of someone's right, that means that no matter what that person does in this country, they still can own a gun. But see, like I say, they change the laws according to what they want to change it to, when they want to change it. But that's another conversation for another day. I got about another 5 minutes, then I'm gonna log off. Cause I'm just sick and tired of weak Americans who don't want to stand up for the rights of other people. No matter if they're undocumented immigrants, no matter if they're legal immigrants. It's time for the people to stand up and call out bullshit when it's bullshit. Because what's going on right now is bullshit. You don't care about 13,000 people dying in this country due to drunk drivers, but you do care about 29 people who died at the hand of undocumented immigrants. And like I said before, all deaths are sad. All lives are precious. So why are we not talking about those 13,000 people who died due to drunk driving? Why can't we strengthen our drunk driving laws in this country to prevent more people from dying? If we really care about lives, if we really care about family members losing lives, because we don't care. We really don't care. That's the bottom line to all of this. We really don't care. The only reason they talk about undocumented immigrants taking lives because it's a political issue. You think they care about Lincoln Riley? No, they don't. They don't care. They don't care nothing about Lincoln Riley. They don't care about none of these people who have died at the hand of undocumented immigrants. But it keeps them in power. That's why they talk about it. They keep the American people outraged. That's why they talk about it. That's the only reason they talk about it. They don't really care about those people's lives. Because if they did, they'll show more compassion to the kids who dies in schools. They'll show more compassion to people who die from DUIs every year. If they cared about lives, if they cared about American lives, they would care about those lives also. But they don't. And that's why we need to wake up and understand. This is not about someone dying. This is about their political future, them standing in power. That's what it's about. That's what it's all about. Them standing in power. That's it. I could lose a loved one to an undocumented immigrant, and I would tell a politician, don't even talk about that person. You know why? Because I know they'll be using that person as a pawn. Because they don't care. They don't care. How many laws has been changed due to school shootings in this country? Hundreds of kids have died in school shootings. How many laws have been changed? I'm just saying. That shows you who cares and who don't care. Lincoln Riley got killed last year. Was it last year or a year for last? Within a year and a half, they have a law named after her. How many school shootings have happened over the last 4 or 5 years. And how many laws have you seen passed because of those school shootings? 13 kids here lose their lives, 20 kids they'll lose their lives, 5 kids here lose their lives, 7 kids they'll lose their lives. Not one law has been passed. Not one. That says a lot about our politicians and what they really care about. But then you have these family members, which also pisses me off, who allow themselves to be used as pawns. Why would you allow yourself to be used as a pawn, knowing that these people don't care about you? Knowing that they're using you only for one reason and one reason only, to stay in power. That's sad within itself. You allowing your dead loved one to be used as a pawn, knowing they don't care about your dead loved one. They don't care. Just understand that. I know sometimes my words don't come out right. I know sometimes I have to kind of like slow down a little bit in order to get my words correct. But I want people to understand something. When I give a message, it comes from the bottom of my heart. And it's real. And it's sincere. And I mean it. There's nothing fake about my messages. The words might not come out right all the time, but the message is mine. All mine. And that's why when I hear people coming at me in a certain way, I don't even care. Because I'm real. I speak my truth. And I'm never going to be fake about it. And that's why I can talk about things like this right here, as in undocumented immigrants versus a drunk driver. We are killing over 13,000 people drunk driving wise, and we only have 29 deaths due to an undocumented immigrant. And we care more about those 29 deaths than we do about those 13,000 deaths from DUIs. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. We're in trouble as a country. We are really in trouble. Totally in trouble. When are we going to wake up and realize we need to stop doing what we're doing and correct this course? Because we're going down the wrong see what I'm saying? We're going down the wrong road at this point in time. We really are. But I got to get out of here. Until next time, I salute you all, and y'all have a great day. And just remember, stop being a pawn in this American politics, because that's all we are, nothing but pawns. They don't care about us. They don't care about our loved ones. They don't give a damn about our lives. And that's a fact. So y'all take care.